May I have your attention? May I have your attention, please?
I'm Lori Meggs.
And I'm Bill Hubscher. Welcome to Focus on Marshall. On today's program, you're going to meet the woman behind the voice who helps keep Marshall employees safe.
But first, we'll visit with the Marshall team that helps spread NASA's message all across the country.
We're here at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, which is not only a space museum and the home to Space Camp, but it is also the official NASA Visitor Center here in North Alabama. And we're joined by the Marshall Space Flight Center's John Dumoulin, who is the manager of exhibits. John, first of all, give us a little overview as to what the exhibits team does.
Bill, the exhibits team is a cradle-to-grave exhibits program. We can design exhibits, we build them, we operate them on the road, we manage them for years as they're at museums around the country. We can offer research services to people, projects and programs that would like for us to help them get their word out.
In fact, you handle displays and models, as you mentioned, including this one right here.
That's right. We did this one. We built displays in the proper lobby of the Rocket Center. We have traveling exhibits here at the Visitor Center right now on display, but we also partner with them through Space Act agreements and other agreements to operate things around the country.
Tell us why NASA felt it was so important to have an exhibits department.
Well, the exhibits program complements the other communications tools that NASA has. In NASA's charter, the Space Act of 1958, NASA was chartered to get the word out about its projects and programs, but also about discoveries of things that that we have developed or benefits that have spun out of the space program for the last 30 years, 40 years. And so the exhibits program complements how the public learns about those verbally or in writing.
So you basically help get the message out.
That's correct. People learn in different ways, and some folks have to touch, some experience. A lot of people learn or used to learn by reading and writing and listening to the verbal word. Some people just have to have that information reinforced by touching and experiencing exhibits, and so we do that. We also have staffers that travel around and help explain things further when people have questions.
Well, you really do build these items, the displays and the models, from the ground up, from cradle to grave, as you mentioned. So let's go back onto the Marshall Space Flight Center and see where you guys build those.
Let's do that.
Now we're out here at Building 4631 back at the Marshall Center and are joined by Sherry Smith, who is an outreach integration lead here in the model shop. Well, actually, it's not officially the model shop, is it?
Yes, officially we refer to this as our design and fabrication shops, but it is affectionately known as a model shop because of the significant model work we've done over the years.
That's right. The model shop has been here for, what, 40 years now?
Yeah, we've had employees working here for up to 45 years, working on models from the F1 engine all the way up through our Aries model set.
This is some very intricate models you have here, and this is, of course, it's just beautiful work. How do you do stuff like this?
Well, our team is comprised of technicians who are fabricators and who build the molds for these models and work other exhibits. We also have graphic specialists, outreach coordinators, property manager, and we're led by our civil service project liaisons.
And as much as I would love to see one of these models out on my desk, they're actually destined to be spread out across the country, right?
Yes, they go around to various NASA centers, trade shows, technical conferences, and any other way to get our messages out to the general public.
And I know you have one exhibit in particular that's very large and very high tech.
That is our Vision for Space Exploration Experience trailer.
Can we go take a look at that?
Yes, we can.
So we've stepped outside of the model shop to where the Vision for Space Exploration Experience is parked. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, this is one of our more exciting exhibits that we take out on the road to share information about our plans for the next 20 years. To return to the moon, go to Mars, visitors come in, get an overview of the vision, and then learn about Moon and Mars through our holographic images. And in the back, we have the experience, the theater portion, where visitors can act like they're kicking moon rocks and Mars rocks.
Now, they don't actually kick Moon or Mars rocks, right?
No, sir. We use our technology with cameras, projection systems that pick up people's motions to simulate moving the Moon and Mars rocks. But now we do have a touchable moon rock on the exhibit.
And it goes out on tour as well?
Yes.
In fact, you need a whole staff of people to go out on tour with this thing.
Yes, we have outreach coordinators and technicians that go along with this. And it takes several months of planning because what we try to do is not only have the exhibit brought to town, but we try to organize opportunities for NASA speakers to come out and share information, work with our NASA education offices so we can organize activities for students, and have VIP and media nights.
Anything to get that message out, right?
Everything we can.
In fact, you have an example, I guess, of the experience here in town now, right?
Yes, we have our Vision for Space Exploration Experience Dome, which is a smaller version, which has the back theater
And it's set up here in Huntsville?
Set up right here in Huntsville.
Can we go check it out?
Yes, you may.
John Sherry showed us the model shop and the trailer, and she told us about the dome, which is very impressive, a true floor-to-ceiling surrounding experience. What can you tell us about it?
Well, this particular exhibit was built for headquarters exploration. They asked us to develop something that allowed the public to experience what it might be like to walk on the moon or to walk on the Mars.
And you do a lot of these kinds of displays for all kinds of departments at NASA.
We do. Primarily, we focus on the institution for Marshall, but we also are client-based. In other words, projects and programs that have an exhibits component for their outreach and communication strategies, they will come to us and ask us to execute for them. And if we have a number of clients like that, we can get some synergy for executing an exhibits program for them and save the cost for everybody.
And your displays and models and exhibits are very popular. How many different places did you visit last year?
Well, an exhibit event can range from loaning a model to somebody for a speaking engagement all the way up to a big, large traveling exhibit that might be in a mall for 9 weeks or thereabouts. We did about 150 of those in 2006.
Wow. And right now the dome is at the Early Works Children's History Museum here in Huntsville. Why putting it in a history museum for children?
Well, museums are key, and children's museums are getting more key for us because we are trying to convey information to a next generation of astronauts that will run NASA in 20 or 30 years and actually execute the vision for space exploration.
Well, John, this is a very impressive, all of the exhibits have been impressive for us to see today, and thanks very much for your time and showing them to us.
It's my pleasure.